People often think of psychologists and psychotherapists as practitioners who can help you to manage or cope with the physiological symptoms associated with your IBS, or the stress, anxiety, emotions, or relationship issues or depression that go along with your IBS symptoms. Most people don't think of psychologists and psychotherapists as practitioners who can help you to heal from IBS. Hello and welcome to the Don't Hate Your Guts YouTube channel. My name is Dr. Jennifer Franklin, and I'm a licensed psychologist specializing in the treatment of irritable bowel syndrome and other digestive issues often referred to as brain-gut disorders or functional gastrointestinal disorders. My aim is to help you to learn how to heal and recover from whatever digestive issue you're dealing with. And I know what it's like to have a digestive issue that's complex to treat, because when I was a teenager, I was diagnosed with IBS, and I have now been recovered for over 20 years. My personal and professional experience of healing and recovering from IBS has taught me that psychotherapy can actually generate healing from IBS. Psychotherapy may not be what everybody needs in order to heal from IBS, but it may be what you need, either right now or at some point in the future. And it's certainly what I needed. I was referred to a psychotherapist, and that was back when doctors did not have a lot of medications to offer, especially to a teenager. I don't think they were prescribing certain things to teenagers back then. And pretty quickly, my gastroenterologist, who happened to be a very progressive physician, referred me out to a psychologist. And I was reluctant to go, but I did. I got desperate enough that I did, and I wish I hadn't waited until I was so desperate to go. Because after 1 year of seeing this person for 1 hour each week and doing nothing else differently, I got about 50% better. I was able to resume life as it had been, and I still had some IBS symptoms. I wouldn't say I was recovered, but psychotherapy for me got my healing journey going. And it might be able to do the same for you. I believe, and I think that the research will show this in the years to come, that IBS has an awful lot to do with our relationships. We live in the context of relationships. We're born in the context of relationships. We grow up in the context of relationships. And guess what? We develop IBS within the context of relationships. Ergo, it is within the context of relationships that our bodies can heal from IBS. And relational healing is not within the domain of physician's scope or in a lot of different practitioners' scopes, but it is well within the domain of the scope of practice of psychologists and psychotherapists. We get an awful lot of training in relational healing. And if you find a therapist that you don't feel has that training, there are many others who do, and they have a lot of training in it and a lot of practice in it. So working with a psychotherapist or a psychologist can be a very important part of your treatment plan. From the perspective of your body, there is no division between mind and body. You have one body, it has a head, it has a brain, and it has a mind that goes along with those things. And there is absolutely no separation between your head and your body. They are connected. And I'm pointing to your neck because that's how they're connected. You have one body, and every little shift that you make on any level, whether it's emotionally or mentally or relationally or physiologically or sensationally, any change that you make has the potential to create a ripple effect throughout the rest of your body. And I believe that that's what happened with me. That's what happens with a lot of people with healing, is you take one step, you make a change. It could be the smallest change. And if it feels good, it creates a ripple effect throughout your body that leads you to feel a little bit better. And if you keep doing that over time, you will create a major shift from being more symptomatic to being less symptomatic. And that is the whole goal of healing. And that is what you're doing in psychotherapy, except that you're doing it with the support of somebody who cares about you, somebody who is interested in you, somebody who's kind and non-judgmental, and creates a safe space for you and a relationship in which you can be authentic. And if those things are not present in a potential relationship that you're exploring with a new psychologist or psychotherapist, or you've been working with somebody and you don't have those things, try seeing somebody else. Those things are absolutely critical to your healing. If you're not working with a psychotherapist or a psychologist and you thought about it, and there's some part of you that's really not willing to do it, might that be some form of avoidance? Avoidance is usually a function of fear. We typically avoid the things that scare us. And so if that's the case, I really want to encourage you to start unpacking that avoidance and start being curious about the fear that you might have. What is that about? What are you really afraid of? And is that something you think you can overcome for the sake of trying something that might actually help you? Or do you need to take a step before you can take a step towards working with a psychotherapist? And maybe psychotherapy just isn't the thing that is really going to get your attention right now. So what can you do where you are working with somebody that feels like they're able to help you to create some healing? And how do you work with somebody that you can develop a really solid relationship with, so that you can feel safe and connected and good and at ease in your body? Feeling those things in the context of relationships, whether it's a practitioner or whether it's your best friend or your significant other or people that you work with, having really solid relationships with people is going to make a huge difference. Healing starts with a willingness to open up and to become more aware of the relationship that you have with your body, all the parts of yourself, and others, and the world. So I really want to encourage you to explore all of those different relationships you have that may be affecting your IBS, or that might have the potential to start healing your IBS if you were to shift some of those things little by little. Healing is a journey. You know the destination, right? You want to get to a place where you're not having symptoms anymore, I imagine. I've got the roadmap. You don't have to hate your guts. Instead, try to be curious. Try to open up your awareness. Try to focus on relationships that are solid in all the ways I described, and discover how to heal your body. You can learn more on the Don't Hate Your Guts website at don'thateyourguts.com. Every week when there's a video published, I also have a corresponding blog post that goes out. You can join my blog post list at don'thateyourguts.com. You can also sign up there to receive notification of registration for a webinar series that I'm coming out with soon. And you can learn a whole lot more on the Don't Hate Your Guts website. Please subscribe here for more videos, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.